All right, so this is part 6 of me breaking down to y'all what I think actually happened in the double murder that YNW Melly is on trial for. And if you missed the last parts, go back and watch them. As I told y'all, I took y'all back before I'm taking y'all forward for y'all to get to the same conclusion that I came to. And y'all, I'm excited to say we almost there. Okay, so where I left off is a medical examiner's testimony, because she claims that the victims were shot a second time. Well, a second, third, fourth, and fifth time. They were shot a second round of times more than 5 minutes after. Could be anywhere between 5 minutes to 24 hours, which we know it wasn't that long because the video surveillance of them getting into the car. But more than 5 minutes after they were already dead, somebody decided it was a good idea to shoot them up again. And this was the determining evidence for me deciding, okay, yeah, maybe this wasn't a drive-by. Because in what instance would they wait 5 minutes and then come back and get the same people that are already dead all over again? Like, what, were you sitting in the same spot or something? So yeah, that theory out the window. Isn't what happened. But now we could talk about the crime scene analysis evidence, because this is the evidence that proves that the shooting 9 times out of 10 happened inside of the car. Now, at this point, I still want y'all to keep in mind that the prosecution, since there's so many holes in the story because none of the evidence is consistent with the motive, or even saying that it was actually Melly with the gun in his hand up until this point, is the reason why my theory went completely away from Melly and I started thinking outside the box. So, the crime scene analysis was tasked with determining whether or not the shooting happened inside or outside the car. And I feel like up until this point, he's done a good job at saying that it happened inside the car. But I do feel like a lot of the evidence that he's presenting is biased. Let me just sprinkle in the detail that he wasn't tasked with analyzing this car and all of the components inside of it until November 2021. Melly been in jail since 2019, so it seems like somebody started planning a case a little late. The other thing is that when they tasked him with investigating the car, they also told him who the suspects were. So, being that YNW Melly was the #1 suspect in the case, it seems as though a lot of the evidence that was being presented and a lot of the evidence that was collected was based upon where Melly was sitting in the car. And they knew where he was sitting, or allegedly sitting, because of the video surveillance footage outside of the studio. Now, according to this crime scene analysis, he says that not only does he know that the shooting happened inside of the car because of the way that the blood spattered inside, but he also did a trajectory of the bullets. Now, the evidence that he gives that eliminates the theory of a drive-by is that he says that based on the way the bullets entered the car from the outside, so the actual bullet holes, they weren't consistent with a person moving or there being a moving vehicle shooting the shots. I guess based on the angles and the science of it all. He said that whoever shot into the car was stationary, which means standing still. But the evidence about inside the car is what more so, did it for me.